All right, everybody, welcome to Best of NWF's Hell in a Cell after show. Hell in a Cell just went off the air, and it kind of went out with a bang, and there's some highs and lows in this show, so we'll get right down to it. Starting off on the kickoff show, we have Dolph Ziggler, Neville, and Cesaro versus Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev. This is a rematch from Raw, but I wish they would have just saved this match for Hell in a Cell, because this match was definitely a lot better than their one on Raw, so it would have been nice to see it for the first time actually on Hell in a Cell instead. Everyone really got some good spots in there. Dolph Ziggler, Neville, and Cesaro, they both shined, or all three of them shined. Barrett and Sheamus and Rusev, not so much, but at least for Barrett, it's a lot better than what he's had recently. After that, we had, Dolph Ziggler, Neville, and Cesaro actually pick up the victory there. But the whole time watching this match, I kept thinking to myself, I think these guys deserve a little better than a six-man tag on the pre-show. I'm hoping going forward there's going to be a lot more exciting matchups. As we'll get into it, there's, definitely some interesting possibilities going forward. So after that, we kick off the actual Hell in a Cell. We have Cena versus Del Rio with the Open Challenge. Del Rio comes out, and it was quite a surprise. And I'm not going to say it was let down, because they've been talking this whole week about who's it going to be, Is it going to be a young guy, is it going to be this or that. I think they wasted an opportunity. I think they should have picked a new guy. I think Del Rio could have came back at any other point and gone against someone else. I don't see why Cena, and pretty much for Cena, this was one of his worst matches ever. He really didn't get anything in, and Del Rio beat him on a backstabber and a kick in the head, so it wasn't anything spectacular for him either. I'm happy to see Del Rio back. Back when he was with the company before, and he left, I was like, okay, whatever. We'd seen him fight Sheamus 1,000 times, but once he was gone, I did miss him, because he's great in the ring, and with all the guys from NXT coming up, like I said, there's going to be a lot of interesting matchups for him. So, especially with Cena gone, we can actually have some drama in the U.S. title picture. I know everyone talks about how great the Open Challenge is, but if you know Cena's going to win every match, what's the fun in that? It really isn't that exciting to watch. If you know who's going to win the game, do you want to watch the game? Probably not. What's the point? So I'm happy Del Rio has it, and going forward, I'm interested to see some of these matchups. After that, we have our first Hell in a Cell match. We have Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. Bray Wyatt comes out. His entrance is awesome as always. You have Roman Reigns come out to the Shield music with the Shield entrance and his Shield outfit, and it's really time. They got at least a new theme song. The very least, if he's going to keep everything else. The theme song is the Shield theme song, and that's all I think of when I see him come down to the ring. So their match was a little slower. There were some exciting moments in there, but something I noticed about the past few years with this new cell they have for Hell in a Cell is just there's not enough room around the ring to have the cameramen in there and the action. So I think they need to widen it by like 2 feet, and I think it'll be a lot better and a lot easier for them to fight outside the ring. If they're not fighting outside of the ring and getting smashed into the cage, what's the point of having Hell in a Cell? You might as well just have a cage match. The cell part doesn't really matter. I know they like hyping it up, but the Hell in a Cell match isn't what it was in 1997 when it debuted. Now it's just kind of, like I said, it's just like a cage match. There's something special about it, especially when every year for one pay-per-view you're going to have multiple matches inside a Hell in a Cell. It's not exciting anymore. It's not something like to be scared of, because every year someone gets a chance to be in there, so it's not that exciting. Roman Reigns picks up the victory here, and he really needed to, just to get this feud over with. Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, I'm interested to see what's going to happen next, because, he's, not only is he fully staffed again, he actually has the addition of Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper. Hopefully they start running wild on WWE and destroying everyone in their path, and I don't see who could stop them. So I want to see them take over the whole WWE. So after that, we have our tag match with the New Day versus Team 3D. Um, the New Day comes out as awesome as always, killer on the mic. They explain, Xavier Woods how he's not going to make it, and the Dudley Boys come out, and like I said before, I'm happy to see the Dudley Boys, but sorry, New Day is a much hotter act. So after that, do I really want to see the Dudley Boys win a 10th title? Yeah, possibly, but not against the New Day. Maybe if it was some B-rate team they had, okay, I could see that, but the New Day is too awesome. I don't want to see them lose, and happily, they didn't lose tonight, so that was good for them. After that, we have our Divas match, and, it's getting really to the point. They got to change out that belt because that belt looks ridiculous. So we have Nikki Bella versus Charlotte, and this is typical for every Charlotte match. I'm not sure why they do this. I don't know if it's because she's fighting Nikki, and Nikki is not that skilled in the ring. So pretty much Nikki beats down Charlotte for 90% of the match, and Charlotte does 10% of offense and wins the match. There's a couple really scary, like, I wouldn't say botches, but they were not clean maneuvers, and I felt like someone was going to get really hurt in there. And like I said before, Charlotte, I know she's great in the ring. When you put her against Natty, a Paige, a Becky Lynch, a Bayley, they have amazing matches. You put her in there with Nikki, and it's like a botch fest the whole time. You're sitting on the edge of your seat, not because of the action being so awesome, but you're waiting for one of them to break each other's neck. So I wasn't too impressed in this match, and I'm just hoping this Nikki Charlotte feud is over and we can move on to actually some real women's wrestling. After that was kind of interesting. You have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, like in the middle of the show, maybe a little after the middle of the show. So you have Rollins versus Kane. I wasn't excited about this match. I don't care about Kane. They kept talking about, Kane coming in the first Hell in a Cell match in 1997 as if, like, that was a good thing. Like, reminding us that he's been there 20 years is not a good thing. So I was actually surprised. Rollins actually looked pretty good in this match. He beat down Kane and he picked up the victory clean, no help, no interruption, nothing at all. He actually won the match, and I think he really needed a victory here and a clean and decisive one. So good thing for Rollins. Like I said before, it's kind of interesting that this match was placed there because after this you have the Intercontinental Championship match for Ryback versus KO. And so I don't know why they didn't flip-flop those matches. I probably would have, as much as you shit on Rollins' title reign and the WWE title, I mean, can at least be like the semi-main, like, let alone the bathroom break between the women's match and the Intercontinental match. So this Ryback KO, like I said, I've liked Ryback a lot more lately, but at the same time, it's KO's belt. I want to see him hold it for a long time, and I'm really hoping to see him feud with some of these other guys here. You have Ziggler, Neville, Cesaro from earlier. That'd be awesome opponents for him, and so hopefully this Ryback part is ended. Ryback can go feud with someone else maybe, and then kind of free up KO to have some nice matches with some wrestlers that are a little more technical. So KO picks up the victory, and he didn't really cheat to win either. That was a pretty straight up match as well, which is nice, especially after last month's debacle with all this crazy ref and all that stuff. So for the main event, we have Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker, and I wasn't really looking forward to this at all. I'm a little over this feud. They keep hyping it as the last, so I'm really hoping it's the last. At the same time, they're also hyping up Undertaker's 25th anniversary at Survivor Series. So we'll see what kind of opponent he has for then, because they've already wasted Bray Wyatt, so I'm really interested to see, is he going to have a match there? Are they just going to honor him there? I'm not really sure how that goes, so that'll be interesting to see, but that's next month. So this match is back and forth. It was awesome. Brock Lesnar gets busted open early, and he's not just bleeding, he's bleeding pretty bad, bad enough where the doctor has to come in, and it was nice to see. You know, I don't need someone to bleed every match, but in a match where the intensity level is supposed to be through the roof, it was nice to see that. You know, a little bit of color in there. They did a lot better inside Hell in a Cell than Wyatt and Roman Reigns did for sure. Um, they played to their strengths. They hid their weaknesses. Of course, you'd expect nothing less from someone that's been in the ring 25 years with WWE, and also a superior athlete of Brock Lesnar. Some things I haven't seen before. I don't remember this ever happening, but near the end of the match, you have Brock Lesnar tearing away the canvas and the padding, exposing the ring boards. He gets chokeslammed, tombstone, kicks out. He low blows Undertaker, F5s him on the exposed boards, and Brock Lesnar is always so smart with his placement of his F5s. He always turns to camera, he gives the look, and then he does the F5. And on this one, he did all of that and made sure to land them on the board. So that was very cool. So I'm happy Brock Lesnar won this match. He needed to win the match. And the low blow, I don't feel that's controversial at all. I think they're trying to make, I don't know what they're trying to do. Brock Lesnar heel, I don't know what they have planned, but going forward, I'm just happy this feud's over. I did not want to see this at WrestleMania. I want to see Brock Lesnar fighting someone else, a Cesaro, perhaps, and then Taker. I want to see him fight someone else too. I don't need to see him fight Brock Lesnar for the 15th time. I remember back in the end of the Attitude Era, the beginning of the Ruthless Aggression Era, and seeing Brock and Taker fight a lot. So for this episode of our after show, I think that's going to be about it. We'll be back tomorrow for our Raw after show. So stay tuned because we are out.